Hi, my name is Spencer Shields. I'm a trial attorney in Kansas City, Missouri, and today I'm going to talk to you about metal-on-metal hips and problems that are arising from these medical implants, and also nationwide litigation that's currently ongoing involving the various types of metal implants. Roughly around 90,000 metal-on-metal hips have been implanted worldwide. 30,000 of those over the last decade were implanted in the United States. Pretty much patients from all across all 50 states had these metal-on-metal implants put in at some time or another. Traditionally, most hip implants consisted of, they were made of either ceramic or plastic parts, where the stem would fit up into the socket, and again, both of those were either made of plastic or ceramic. Those types of traditional implants typically worked well. Around a decade ago, some of the orthopedic manufacturers, including Zimmer, DePuy, which is owned by Johnson & Johnson, Biomet, they started to manufacture and market what's called a metal-on-metal implant. Pretty much they replaced the plastic and the ceramic with metal on metal, where the stem and the socket were both metal. The thinking was that these would not wear out, and they would provide for a longer time period before any type of revision or replacement needed to be done. A few years ago, the FDA initially stalled DePuy's effort to manufacture and market the ASR hip implant. That hip implant was eventually recalled in 2010, both voluntarily by DePuy and the FDA. Again, Zimmer is also a manufacturer of metal-on-metal implants, and Biomet as well. All three of these companies have multi-district litigation, which is a nationwide tort litigation ongoing against them, involving several types of these hip replacement components and the parts that go into the patient. The problems that are arising from these metal-on-metal implants are twofold. Number one, they're experiencing a higher than normal failure rate, where loosening is occurring, and it's a painful procedure when that, or a painful circumstance when that happens, and the patient has to follow up with their orthopedic surgeon and have it addressed, typically by additional surgery. The most evasive surgery to correct the problem being what's called a revision, and that's where the total metal-on-metal implant is taken out and replaced with a more traditional implant. The second issue that's occurring with patients and is actually more alarming is where the metal-on-metal is now known to be flaking off, and both cobalt and chromium are being released into the bloodstreams of the patients. Worst case scenario resulting in blood poisoning and tissue breakdown of the surrounding joint. Autoimmune dysfunction disorders can result from it. Those being the primary issues related to the breakdown of the metal-on-metal. If you need help with any of these, I'm heavily involved in both hip and knee replacement cases. We're actively reviewing and filing metal-on-metal hip cases in the federal multi-district litigations that are currently ongoing. You can view me more at spencershields.com or shieldofjustice.net. Again, I'm based out of Kansas City, Missouri, but I practice in all 50 states when it comes to mass tort claims, which metal-on-metal implants are. We can represent individuals from New York to California, get the cases reviewed, work with you in your doctor's office to determine which type of implant you have, and if you have one of the implant protocols or implants that fit the protocol of the nationwide litigation, we'll get the case on file and represent you in that matter and move the case forward through the litigation process. Appreciate you viewing this blog.